Friends, family, and fans of Canadian lacrosse. I'm Jessica Ostrahan, welcoming you to the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre here in beautiful Oakville, Ontario. We are all set for the semifinal matchups here at the historic President's Cup Tournament, or the Prezi as it likes to be called. The Oakville Rock came out of the round-robin tournament in first place, and they will be playing the fourth-seeded Edmonton Miners here later this evening. But first, the Ladner Pioneers are the defending champions after hoisting the hardware in Edmonton last year, and they would love another crack at the cup. But first, they will have to get through the Snake Island Muskies again. And if this tilt is anything like the back-and-forth one-goal game we saw between these two yesterday, well, we are in for one heck of a battle here this afternoon. Let's take a look at the standings boards coming out of the round-robin tournament. As you can see, Oakville and Ladner do both have 10 points, but Oakville has the tiebreaker after their win over Ladner on Wednesday. Snake Island and Edmonton are the third and fourth seeds, respectively. But respectfully, either of those two teams could end up atop the podium tomorrow. After some of the performances we have seen them do, or have seen them put on rather, throughout this entire tournament. Now, with more on the matchup and, of course, the call for this afternoon's game, I will send you up to Matt Carrick and Brian Shanahan. Gentlemen?
For you today, no math. That's what I've been told. The winners of these two semifinals will come back tomorrow to play for this bad boy right here. The Prezi, as I found out it likes to be known. And Ladner, they want to get back to that big game.
Yeah, they sure do. And, you know, they've got Ryan Benesh in the lineup today. He's only played 4 games, but he's got seven goals, 21 points. And, you know, they sat him out yesterday.
Yeah.
No injury or anything. He's 38 years old. This is what you got to do if you want to win a championship. Rest your guys when you can. Take a bit of a risk, but they did that yesterday, and they're hoping it pays off.
In the 2 tournaments that he's missed, it's been 2 close games that Ladner has played against their opponent. And as you said, sat out yesterday, back in there today. As we look at Joe Resiteritz is going to be our player to watch for today's game. Wasn't supposed to be in this tournament by way of win with the Akwesasne Bucks. Wasn't supposed to be in because they wanted someone else, but he's here and making the most of it.
Oh, yeah, and he's played fantastic. He's got 10 goals, 8 assists in 6 games. He's played every game for them. But you're right. He was on Akwesasne, the team that Snake Island defeated. But you wouldn't know it by the way he fits in with his new teammates here. He looks great. You know, particularly I like the way Skylar Thomas and him have had a connection, passes back and forth. But both these guys, Resitaris, Benesh, superstars in the NLL, superstars in this tournament.
And we already talked about Ryan Benesh on the other side of things. He was amongst some of the tournament leaders in scoring before Rob Hellier decided to have a massive day yesterday. Benesh is the straw that stirs the drink on this offense.
Yeah, and it's the outside shot and the passing. He's got a quiet, fantastic outside shot, but he always finds the open man too. He's one of these guys, sometimes you might think he didn't do too much until you add up the assists after the game. I love watching him play. 38 years old, he hasn't slowed down. He was never fast, that's not his game, but he's still just as good as he was in his rookie year.
And proving it here in this tournament. Once again, this bad boy on the line tomorrow. Ladner has a chance to get there. So does Snake Island Muskies, trying to sneak their way in as well. The first of 2 semifinals comes your way next. We got to take a commercial break before we get you to Ladner and Snake Island to kick off the semifinal Friday. Playoff Friday here at the President's Cup. Our starting goaltenders, this is the story in this game. For Snake Island, they go back to Kobe Johnson after the injury yesterday to Nick DeMood, who was fantastic throughout.
Yeah, that's a huge thing to happen to Snake Island. Nick DeMood played every playoff game and every game in this tournament and was a star. Their team was built around him, but they're going to have to go to Kobe Johnson today, who played well when he was brought in late in the second period yesterday.
8 goals allowed. This man's played great ever since he was about 4 years old. Christian Del Bianco back the other way for the Ladner Pioneers.
Yeah, no surprise. Del Bianco has had a good tournament, but you know, the thing I love about watching him is that, you know, when a game is on the line, that's when he seems to make the best saves, when you really need it. Plus, he's got about 5 assists.
I was just about to say, watch for him in transition as well. A guy who recovers nicely back to his feet. As we look at Gawilade Mitchell, the head coach of the Snake Island Muskies, standing under that Eagle staff. Jake Elliott got the scoop on that. And over on the home bench, the Ladner Pioneers led by Ross Freilich, looking to get back to the championship game to defend their gold medal.
I spoke to Mitchell before the game, and I said, you know, are you guys doing anything differently, you know, with the goaltending change? And he said no. And Josh Sanderson joined the conversation, and he says, like, to start, we are playing the same system we always play.
Skylar Thomas had a fantastic game yesterday. His best of the tournament with a hat trick. Here they will go to their player to watch, Joe Resiteritz. Thomas outside, skips his shot. That turned right after it hit the carpet, and Del Bianco has his first save out of the way.
Yeah, he got a hat trick yesterday, and, you know, only 4 goals in the tournament, which, I mean, I say only 4 goals. He's got 4 goals, 8 assists, so he's had a pretty good tournament. But he was their top goal scorer during the regular season this year. So that's a guy who's used to putting up good numbers.
Outside shot off the bar and out. Muskies will have it again. They're wearing these maroon and gold jerseys. I know that's sacrilegious in part of this province to wear maroon and gold, but they've got it. They look pretty good as they go left to right in this period. Resiteritz faked high, went low. Fake low went high, excuse me.
Was that a Brampton Excelsior reference? Maroon and gold.
Stick lost out of the hand of Sam Clare as he was headed off. And here's our player to watch the other way. First offensive possession for Benesh, Tyler Pace, and this offense, Spencer Bromley. Look out!
Boy.
It rolls across the line.
That went in agonizingly slow. The shot. Bromley takes the shot. It hits the pipe, hits Johnson's back, and he had no idea. Take a look here. The defender could see what was happening. Johnson had no idea, but the defender couldn't get there on time as it rolls in slowly. How many times throughout this tournament have we seen a goalie make a save and spin around to check whether the ball's there or not? That's got to be a bad feeling when the goalie doesn't know where the ball is.
Usually you hear the defenders yelling feet, feet, feet if that's where it is, but Kobe Johnson, first one rolls through as Snake Island gets it back. And this could be one way to kind of keep that defense. If you're worried at all about the goaltending switch, which I don't think by the sounds of it Snake Island are, you know, just keep the ball up on offense. They did it 3 rebounds in a row on that first set. Here's Shanks. Austin Shanks up top. Hard shot from Tucker. Johnson will make the save after the first one of the game went in.
Although talk about coming in a pressure situation. Nick DeMood may be the MVP on this team, and Kobe Johnson has to come in. Yesterday he did a great job, but you know, he's had a whole night and day to think about it.
Way different than coming in cold. Nice catch by Alex Turner on the bench, saving the trainer / social media manager / photographer of this Ladner Pioneer squad. I believe that's Brittany Hawkins down on the bench. 2.5 gone in this first period. Austin Shanks backing away from pressure. Around the back shot to Bobby Allen because Brian Shanahan's standing next to me. Johnson will save that as well. By the way, emoji battle going on in the YouTube chat. The pie emojis are out, and I saw a couple of snakes before this one started. So let us know where your allegiance lies if you're watching us live. Skylar Thomas backs away from the crease, back to it, and we're tied.
Excellent play. Is that Sam Firth?
Yes, it is.
Sam Firth, who got his first goal yesterday, gets his second. Let's have a look. Yes, and it was Thomas, I believe, who finds him as it looks like he's going to try to drive the net down low. Firth just sneaks in behind his man, Firth, and puts it in the far side to tie it up.
Firth, a goal and 2 assists yesterday, his first of the tournament after it was very hard to get anything to go for number 19 for Snake Island. Joe Resiteritz, by the way, yesterday, 2 goals and 1 assist. Pace all the way to the outside. Big body of Alex Turner using his stick on the floor this time. And that pass bounced away into the stick of Zach Deacon. Deacon leading a trio of Muskies players, Nate Woods and Brian Rice. And all 3 of them will now head to the bench. Correction, Rice stays out there. He was hiding under the glass. Around the double screen from Ty Thompson to the other side. Ball bounced in the direction of Joe Resiteritz, but couldn't get far enough. Jake Carey down to James Ray. Ray finds Shanks coming off the bench. That hit a stick on its way through. However, the rebound back to Zach Hairwires. First time we're calling his name today. Phil Caputo from distance, a skip shot. That goes wide, and this one's going to go out and across the timeline. No over and back if you're just tuning into the President's Cup for the first time. One of the different rules in the CLA than it is NLL, in addition to the first of 3 scheduled 20-minute periods. Skylar Thomas fell, picked up here in transition for Mike Mallory, who shoots, and it's off the left side of Johnson and out to the outside wall.
Nice save by Johnson. They have numbers up the floor, but mishandled the pass.
Straight to Nick Jensen. Jake Carey gives to Pace, who slowly jogs it back into restraining line as we hit 5 minutes gone here in this period. Outside shot. Shanks is going to block the defenders from getting it. Bats it back through Luke Magnan and Tyler Halls. Magnan, the Steven Stamp unsung hero of the day yesterday. Visit presidentscup.lacrosse.ca if you want to read his recap notes. Joe Resiteritz to the far side. Hard shot, and Del Bianco the save on Vaughn Harris. Swim move for Harris, second chance. Back now for Chris Atwood. No shot, it comes from way outside and well wide. Joe Hall then collided with the defender, but the ball is up here for Carey.
Joe Hall in the lineup. I don't think he was yesterday, and Stephen Keogh not in the lineup for Muskies today.
He's been in and out the whole time as we get a moving screen. Here, bouncing up from that was Shane Francis, who immediately heads down floor. Wore the burgundy socks with the black jerseys, and now he's gone black compressions with burgundy jerseys here today. Thomas running in, cross crease. Del Bianco got there, but it was a double clutch right on the doorstep from Josh Hewitt.
I don't know how Thomas got that pass through to Hewitt. That was through a lot of sticks.
Normally
we scoring chance.
Sorry, Shani. Normally we see goaltenders overcommit when they have to come cross crease like that, but Del Bianco just takes up so much room with his legal gear.
Yeah, Del
As we found out
Bianco
a
is
couple
not
days
a
ago.
heavy guy.
Sam Firth to the outside. Brian Rice. Resiteritz will rip one and score, and the Muskies take the lead.
Always a dangerous shooter, Joe Reseteris from Hamburg, New York. Multiple times 100-point man in the NLL, and that shows you why. And you know what I love about this play? The ball goes across the floor. He doesn't waste a lot of time. One little hitch, and then he takes that shot to beat one of the best.
Joe Reseteris, my first professional lacrosse interview.
Oh, really?
He was covering an Excelsior game. He was up for one of his first seasons out of the United States. And
was he a good guy to you?
He was good. He admitted to me after it was one of his first interviews, too. So
you both were nervous.
It was, it was awkward first date vibes, I'm not going to lie. Vaughn Harris to Reseteris on the crease. How about back-to-back for Snake Island?
Skylar Thomas, who seems to be getting better every game in this tournament, and involved in the offense every time they're up the floor, finds himself open on the crease. And was it Reseteris or Harris who made that pass? But that was a beautiful pass up high over the sticks. And he's not a big guy, Skylar Thomas, 5'7". He had to reach up high to grab that. Well, Sam Firth made the pass.
I think the one down to the crease was Atwood.
Yeah.
And Firth was the setup guy there. But either way, I didn't think there was enough equipment for it to be Joe Reseteris, as he goes with the kind of half-length compression socks. This shot from Snake Island misses the mark, and the Pioneers jog it up. Matt Beers. 8 minutes gone here in the period. Snake Island lead 3-1, off 9 shots to 5. Muskies also lead in that category. James Ray, one-on-one with Magnet. Pace will set the screen. Ray, shot in there from Ryan Benesh, and the save made from Johnson. Haven't seen the full outside bombs that we've been seeing from this Ladner team so far in this first period.
No, we saw a lot of yesterday, especially after the goaltending change.
Look out here, though. Second transition rush. It's a 3-on-1. They go back to Ray. He'll back into pressure, turn, and shovel it just wide of the net. Ladner, nearly came up with the ball. Player looked like he was in the bench when he touched that. Did Nate Woods, but play continues before it's finally scooped up by the Pioneers. Carey runs out and away from pressure. All of that on the Ladner clock, though, so they did have to hurry it from center. Did Jensen. Not enough to beat the 30-second shot clock. Reseteris. Far side, giving it to First now. Switching spots over on the right side of the floor with Josh Hewitt. He'll set the screen for Reseteris. Now cut to the net. And Joey Rez couldn't hang on. Ladner will turn up floor one more time. Jeff Cornwall. Seen him go off a few times in this tournament, but back out there healthy today.
Yeah, I think he's got one goal. He's got good speed, good transition guy, but he ran into a wall of Snake Island players.
Shot clock on your screen is incorrect. Sean Grenier has the count on the floor. Quick stick.
Boy.
Oh, Shanks was standing there like he was doing nothing and just awaited that shot. And it was a good one to the side of the crease. Shot clock now correct, by the way. As Shanks lines up again. Bouncer past the screen of Brian Rice. Into the corner. Bromley got filled in. Benesh there to pick up the loose ball. Shanks trying to feed pace, cutting through. And it bounces harmlessly into the stick of Colby Johnson.
9 shots for Ladner now on Colby Johnson, who's only let one in.
We mentioned Sean Grenier, the official from Ontario. He's joined by Hayden Laporte of Alberta, Ben Kirkwood of Ontario. Jacoby Craftsman, also of Ontario, is the standby. Shot clock under 10 here for the Muskies. Reseteris towards the front of the crease. Harris couldn't hang on, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Pioneers up for Caputo as we're in the back half of this first period. Caputo up top, Tucker. Zach Hairwire sounded like he wanted them to shoot, and they give the ball to him instead. He drives, and the ball went over top of the net. Here comes Caputo. Scored twice like this, not yesterday, the day before. But that's all we've kind of heard from Phil Caputo in this tournament.
And speaking of, that was Haywire's voice, or Hairwire's voice. I could hear shoot, shoot, shoot from up here. I thought it was somebody from the Muskies bench trying to misdirect.
That could have been. They were both kind of over in that direction. Thomas up top for Atwood, and he's got a lethal shot if he decides to let one go. Kind of rolled the ball dangerously far away there.
They're a little bit more relaxed in that rule, in the Canadian box lacrosse rules, than it is in the NLL rules.
Well, you would think so, but we saw a call yesterday.
We did.
Benesh trying to return it to Bromley. That may have hit the wooden stick of Brandon Swamp. Up top for Shanks. Down to Benesh, who finds a cutter. Pace just clears the crease before the shot from Bromley. Johnson not distracted. Still 3-1 Muskies. Shots even now 9-9 with Gressa-Terrence sending the ball outside. Skylar Thomas for Firth. He circles around here on the left side. Back to Gressa-Terrence out in front. And Thomas, one of his hands had come off his stick, nearly caught that in midair. As it bounced around, the shot clock expires. Jessica Ostrahan will be joined by a player down on the floor at the first intermission. Be sure you stay with us for her interview, as she'll be with us for the rest of the weekend, including second game tonight, 7 p.m. start Eastern time.
Pioneers offense have been frustrated up to this point.
Edmonton do have our permission to get off early from work, so you can get home and watch that. 3-on-1 again come the Pioneers. Mallory, cutback move, and he's in the crease on the second attempt. That is the third 3-on-1 breakout that the Muskies have surrendered here. As we're going to get a look at the crease call as they continue down on the floor.
Well, the first save, both shots by Mallory. First one's a nice save, goes for the short side both times. The second, a nice little fake.
Boy.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I didn't look too closely at his feet, but whatever the call is on the floor, that's what it's going with.
And it had to wait for the ball to clear the crease as well, which I thought he did well. Another one of those CLA NLL discrepancies. Shanks to Pace. Regardless, we remain 3-1. Up top, Hairwires. Bromley round the corner. Pace. Shanks. Far side. Bromley scores. Where has this ball movement been?
Bromley's only had one goal coming into this game. He's got both goals for Ladner and has had a few fantastic scoring opportunities on top of that. But Ladner has to look at Shanks is just looking around for somebody, gets that pass all the way through, and Bromley, quick shot, and I think you're going to see it go between the legs. Oh, yep, between the legs, and it's all about when that ball goes east-west, the faster you take the shot, the harder it is for that goaltender to make a save.
Just under 6 minutes to go here in the first. We've got a one-goal game. By the way, the Muskies won that second period yesterday. 3-2 was the score in the second after we were tied 1-1 in the first. And then following the injury to Demude, 6-4, Ladner to take the one-goal victory. So a bit of a scare yesterday perhaps for the Pioneers as the chase is on for this rebound, which goes all the way down in Muskie territory. Jensen tangled up a bit with Firth. He's going to swing the stick. Look out.
The referee's letting a lot of pushing go.
And a tug on the shoulder from Magnan. Cornwall taps it away from him. Now Johnson's going to get involved. And a bit of shoving.
I don't know if the referee has established a standard for the pushing on the loose balls. I do think it went both ways.
Was a battle, and Sean Grenier right there letting him work through it. Skylar Thomas. Down in the corner. Vaughn Harris will leave it there.
Great job by Claire to get his stick.
That was Josh Hewitt, who did not play in yesterday's game, I don't believe. Every team goes through the substitution in the lineup, and both of these two teams no strangers to President's Cup play. Banesh feeds the cutter near side. That's Caputo, and no room in the 5-hole of Johnson. That includes when Ladner played Tuscarora, and I mean, they benched half the team that day. Little exaggeration.
Well, no, but some very key players. It was Tyler Pace that day.
Banesh, Claire, Beers.
Yes. And hung on for a 1-goal win.
Cornwall chasing down this rebound. Ladner thinks that the Muskies jumped early. Cornwall will leave it for Shanks. Magnan chasing him high.
Oh,
shot
boy.
from Shanks sneaks through.
Not a great angle. Austin Shanks being covered by his Halifax teammate, Luke Magnan, who keeps him up to the outside. Shanks is such a sneaky shooter at times. You think that he's got no angle and somehow reaches this to the far side. And Magnan's head goes up. Basically, he thought he did enough.
So the Muskies, who led 3-1 at one point, looking to answer back. They turn to Joe Resiteritz. Here's Thomas, who has been guarded much closer than he was at the beginning of the game after being involved on 2 of those goals in the run. Over the shoulder from Firth. That does reset the shot clock.
And that's just not just a fancy shot from Firth. He was looking with his stick and saw no net and thought he could change the angle by coming from the back, but still not beating Del Bianco.
Thomas to the far side where Resiteritz pops out of the pile. Save from Del Bianco. Rebound cleared out. Nearly got to center. What a job by Skylar Thomas.
Sure was.
Bumped his set off the ball and then flip it right where Josh Hewitt was the only one who could take control.
FYI, guys, we're looking like we're going to go 66 for Muskies interview, okay? FYI.
Sam Firth brings it across the restraining line. Ty Thompson outside. The cutter was Vaughn Harris. Had to pull up, and Atwood nearly had his second assist. Ball kicked down floor. That was Matt Beard sending it in the direction of Jerry Stotts. Ladner will want the penalty called, but that was in midair when the shot clock went.
Yeah, he definitely did that before it went.
Past the 2-minute warning here. Both teams have 2 timeouts. Can take at any point, 1 per period. Hair wires to the outside. Banesh, Ray, back to Shanks near side. Austin Shanks down in the corner. Hair wires to Banesh, lost control. And Shanks was battling with Luke Magnan. Not sure why he didn't.
He could have done.
Well, I know why he didn't pick it up now, because he gets the shot clock and they get the offensive change. That is a smart play if it looked a little weird when it happened.
Yeah, we've seen that a number of times. I haven't seen anyone kick it all the way down the floor, but yeah, it turns out to be pretty smart. His team gets to start with the ball in the offensive end.
The one that we've been seeing a lot is the goaltender makes the save and just kind of looks at it.
Yeah.
Sitting dormant in the crease because, of course, no offensive player can touch it. Thomas's shot off. Del Bianco and out of play. And Thomas will get the restart in the corner with 1:20 to go. Skylar Thomas, Vaughn Harris, continuing to work it around here for Resetaritz. Resetaritz outside, faking the shot, takes it. Del Bianco with a catch, and no one headed down floor, so he elects to go the safe route to Travis Irving. Irving for pace as we're inside the final 60 seconds. Pace around a screen, no shot. Back to Manesh, who does take one. Johnson the save, picked up by Jerry Stotts. And with about 47 seconds left when the Muskies took over, that'll set up Ladner perhaps for final shot. Joe Hall. Mr. Prezi. From the outside, Vaughn Harris.
It's a long pass from Joe Hall across the floor to Vaughn Harris, but such a quick, hard underhand shot, not letting Del Bianco get over. Check this out. Oh my gosh, this is nice. And you see Del Bianco just comes across. He could see that pass coming across. He steps out and just leaves a little bit open up high.
Bit of a riser to that shot as well, like you said, Shanny. That's where that ball goes, and the Muskies have the lead back 4-3.
And I think I said it yesterday. It's not that he's got any weak spots, but I do see more goals going in the top corner than anywhere else.
You did say that. Muskies were on the floor when it happened, so not sure if they went back to the hotel and watched the game back, but extra attacker is out right now as the Muskies try and go up by 2 before the end of the period. Same play, Resetaritz this time. His shot in on Del Bianco, who makes the save, but it is 4-3 Muskies. After the first 17-15 are the shots. Stay with us as Jessica Ostrahan will track down an interview. And for the Muskies, I mean, this is best case scenario, I would think, Shanny.
Yeah, they got to be very happy, winning that period. Josh Sanderson and any coach, Mitchell, they're going to focus on let's go out and win this period, and that's what they did. They're going to try to put it in the background now because they know Ladner's going to come out hard. So a lot of game to go. On the flip side of the coin, I don't think Ladner's happy to be down a goal, but that's a team with high expectations. They will not be happy with anything but a gold medal and that big President's Cup.
Jessica Ostron is caught up with Josh Sanderson over on that visitors bench.
How long?
Q.
Thank you so much. I am here with Josh Sanderson, the head coach of the Snake Island Muskies. Coach, great first period. What did you think from your boys tonight?
Yeah, we were ready to play, so it was a decent start for us. Obviously a ton of lacrosse left, so we just kind of stick with it. I think they're going to try to push the ball on us here a bit in the second, so we got to be ready for that.
Really outstanding defense to start. Very palpable, and you're very much frustrating the Pioneers. What's your strategy for that?
Well, that's been the strength of our defense all year is our defense and our goaltending. So Colby's holding us in there. Defense is playing their normal game. Obviously, they got a lot of weapons, so we just got to keep an eye on a few of them and try to take away their best sticks and keep grinding away. It's going to be a long 60, but it was a good start.
Speaking of grinding away, talk to me a little about the ball pressure that we saw in that first period.
Yeah, obviously we want to have sticks on their hands when they're going to shoot and make plays, and then kind of support off it. And then I thought our offense was moving the ball well and creating opportunities. So it was just a solid 20, but obviously there's tons of lacrosse left.
Just one more question for you. What do you tell your team heading into this game against the defending champs?
Just try to outwork them and try to outwill them and compete and just try to, we know how much talent they have. We know they're the champs, and, they got a good group over there. But, we've been playing good all year. We thought we earned our way in here against a tough team, and then have been battling all week. So, we think we're ready for anybody. Thank
you so much, Josh. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Cheers. That was Josh Sanderson, the head coach of the Snake Island Muskies. We'll be right back with some more President's Cup lacrosse here on JVI.
there we go. 3, 2, 1, you guys are up. Cue.
Welcome back to the President's Cup here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center in Oakville, Ontario. About 20 minutes, what would you say, 20 minutes west of Toronto, depending on traffic, could be an hour and a half. Bromley takes the shot, and Kobe Johnson, we thought that was going to be a bit more of an issue for the Muskies, but they come away with the 4-3 lead after the first shanty.
Spencer Bromley opened the scoring for them, but I think this is the one where we see Firth is going to sneak open, and Thomas has been involved in everything that tied up the games at 1. Then watch, that's when a little bit of a run. I think we had a 3-goal run by Snake Island. This one is going to come to Joey Resetaris. Quick shot. And we see this a couple times. I don't know if this is something they talked about or not, but we're going to see on the Von Harris goal a little bit later. This one is Thomas, who gets wide open, has to jump up pretty high to catch the pass, puts it in 3-1. Bromley again gets his second goal, 3-2. Shank scored to tie it up, and then Von Harris scored another one to give him a 4-3 lead.
Team switching sides here. Cornwall in transition for Ladner now, going left to right here in this second period. Still Del Bianco, still Kobe Johnson. As Shanks from the outside. Shanks taking a couple whacks. He'll give off to Ryan Benesh. Under 5 to go in the shot clock. Benesh way out wide and no time for the shot. And Josh Sanderson saying in that interview that the defense has been the strength of their team all season, showing it off in the first possession.
Well, anytime the 30-second shot clock goes off, coaches are very happy with the defense.
Von Harris up top, Resetaris. Texted down to the penalty box. That goal should be changed as Firth got one in the period, showing Joe Hall had scored. No disrespect to Joe Hall, who set up Harris on the great cross-crease pass. Claire to Hairwires. He'll backpedal into the corner. Off the benches. Shanks had all kinds of time before the shot was saved. Rebound back to Hairwires. Defense giving chase to Shanks all the way outside. No room to get it back through to the cutting hair wires. Shanks again, a skip shot that gets in on Johnson.
And generally this Snake Island team is content to give those long shots away. Josh Sanderson, when I was talking to him, said that their style is not to go out and take away the outside shots. Their style is to pack it in, don't allow anything inside.
Well, and then he told Jessica they want to take away their best sticks.
Yeah. But, I mean, the other thing I'd add, that style works well when you've got a great goalie, which, they've had with Nick DeMoot. And so far, Kobe Johnson's been up to the task as well. He's not been spectacular. He's just been solid. That's what you want.
Benesh will be outside. Pick and roll. Bromley had all kinds of space but couldn't grab the pass, which is down on the turf. I think Caputo got it out of the pile, but then it rolled back to Johnson. If you weren't with us yesterday for the game between these two, DeMood was going cross-crease. I think it was on a breakaway. And the collision didn't cause it, but his left foot kind of got caught underneath of him. And, I mean, he wasn't putting any weight on the left leg when he walked off. And Kobe Johnson came in relief, and he's got the net here today. Von Harris flips it back into the corner.
And, I talked to Coach Mitchell this morning, and I said, what happened? And he said, not much really. He said, but it tweaked an old injury.
Okay.
And I'd probably say more than a tweak.
Josh Hewitt late getting off the floor as he was hobbled in the corner. Hairwires down on the crease. Benesh!
Did somebody get on his stick? Or did he just shoot that wide?
I find it very hard to believe it ended up that far away with Benesh walking in all by himself. Here comes Hairwires, the same play. And twist on his shot is enough to reset the clock.
Oh, boy.
And Ray from way outside gets Johnson leaning the wrong way. And we're all tied up at 4.
That's a shot you don't want to give Ladner. After a couple of nice saves, solid save, trying, bad angles, trying to squeeze it in. Snake Island gave James Ray all kinds of room in the middle, and that's a play that it's tough for the goaltender. We'll see it from his angle. He steps out. You don't know which way to go. You got to go out in the middle and hope he doesn't pick a corner. And no better shot than off the post and in. It's not like those angle shots where you hug your post, you know you take away the angle. That one's, unless you get out really far, and he doesn't have time to get out far, you can't take away the angle.
Cutter. Resetaritz finds Atwood, and just like that, the lead is back to Snake Island.
They've done a pretty good job, Snake Island has, of sneaking in. This is the third goal this way. I think we saw Firth, we saw Thomas, and this time we saw Atwood. And these plays only work if the passers are quick enough to find the man and get the pass through. And you know, Joey Resetaritz, if he sees a guy open, doesn't matter if he's thinking shot or not, he's going to find him and he's going to make that pass.
Missed it here, but off the draw. Tyler Halls was pointing a player in the direction he thought he was going to win it. It goes the complete opposite end of the floor, though. And Shane Francis runs into it to still make sure that Snake Island have possession. Can give Vaughn Harris an assist for his second point of the game. Golden assist for our player to watch, Joe Resetaritz. There's Skylar Thomas. Outside, onto the crease. And back out there is Hewitt, who was all alone in front of Christian Del Bianco.
All alone. He tried to go far side and then squeeze it in short side, and Del Bianco wasn't having it.
Man in the middle is Joe Hall. Skylar Thomas now cuts through. Ball comes back up top for Hewitt. No shot, so he goes to Hall again. Cutting through is Vaughn Harris.
That was a nice play and a nice save. Everyone in the rink, including you and I, thought Vaughn Harris was setting up for a big outside shot.
Want to finish the thought on Demude. You called it a tweak, and I think that's, if you're a fan of Panther City lacrosse, that is a good word to hear based on what we saw as he plays down in Panther City. That sounded like it hit off the crossbar. No reset. It will now as it's a 2-on-1 coming back the other way for Snake Island. Brian Rice takes it himself. And Del Bianco there to make the save, but Brandon Swamp gets the rebound, and he'll roll it back to center for Jerry Stotts.
Rice has had a great tournament. You know, he's been in on a lot of transition goals, got great speed, even just getting it up the floor as quick as he does.
Resetaritz for Atwood. His shot got caught in the stick of Owen Barker, and now Zach Hairwires is headed the other way. Finds Shanks off the bench. Bounce shot, and the last couple from Shanks have been bouncers. Guess he believes they can beat Kobe Johnson like that, but not holding true so far.
I don't think there's ever a time where Shanks doesn't think he can beat a goaltender on an outside shot. And more often than not, he squeezes it in.
Especially here in this tournament. Back in Halifax, I believe, this upcoming season, correct?
Yeah.
Skylar Thomas dumps it in the corner. Bench had a bit of a chirp for the official after the stick landed on the helmet.
Head, but I don't blame him for not calling that.
Coincidental.
Yeah. Little touch.
Officiating in this tournament, I would say, has been great. RIC Dale Set, consistent throughout, and I mean, a few times you felt it was going to get out of control, and it never did. Meanwhile, Alex Turner shooting around a screen, and Ladner's going to take their first lead in quite some time.
You know, 3 goals from this game. The guys who are not scoring goals, Turner, that's his first goal of the tournament. Bromley had only 1 goal coming into this game. He's got 2, but it's Ryan Benesh who brings the traffic down with him. And watch, he just scoops it back up, and look at all the room that Turner has. And that one actually went, I thought it went short side. That went off the stick of Johnson and in.
Benesh, our player to watch with his second. Said that was the lead, but we are tied 5-5. Muskies were up 5-4. Bromley. These two teams have been tied so much over the last 2 days. Very even matchups. Another good one coming up tonight between Oakville and Edmonton, who played each other tough in their round robin matchup. Luke Magnan. And of course, the winners come back tomorrow at 7. We'll have the bronze medal for you at 3 p.m. facing the two teams that do not advance to that gold medal, but everyone wants this beautiful trophy that's behind us. Resetaritz on the run. His shot off Del Bianco, rolls out to the near side. To the outside board, Sam Firth recovers the possession. Shots basically even as well. That last one putting the Muskies on top. Resetaritz, Skylar Thomas. Hard defensive shift from Jake Curry, but can't do anything with the cross floor pass and the finish from Vaughn Harris.
Yeah, when the Muskies do this, and I think this is the 3rd or 4th time they've come east to west, quick shot. If you want to beat a goalie as good as Del Bianco, this is a good recipe. You just can't get over quick enough to take away the whole angle. And Vaughn Harris, his second goal, that's his favorite corner of the day. Both of them in the top left.
Snake Island still ahead, except for the first goal of the game from Ladner. That was their only lead. Resetaritz to the outside. See if they have another run in them. Over the shoulder from the far side. Resetaritz couldn't catch up to it. And here comes the transition of Ladner. Cornwall leading it. Clare with the ball. Sam Clare stands on the brakes as Snake Island were back. And Josh Sanderson did say they were expecting some transition from Ladner here in this period. Haven't seen it so far through the first 8.5 minutes.
Well, I think Snake Island, part of it's because Snake Island has done such a good job getting their defense on.
High wax on the stick of Alex Turner.
Oh, that's
and
an late slash, and it's
even
called.
Bigger one down in the corner on Jerry Stotts. Our first penalty for either team here in this game.
And Stotts, he's had a great tournament, but he's been borderline dirty the whole time, and I think that's been part of their game. Stotts and Luke Magnan are just so intimidating. But that one right in front of the referee, you're not getting away with that.
Into the midsection, not play on the ball. I mean, there were all kinds of things that were wrong with that. Ladner 2 for 3 on the power play yesterday. 2 for 5 were Snake Island. So special teams story between these two. And this Ladner power play has been near lethal in this tournament.
We haven't seen any shots by Tyler Pace yet.
Well, he's got it now up top. Him and Benesh have gone back and forth. Can't connect with the cutting Shanks. And ball down, and just as we're praising the power play, they give up a shot clock violation. Zach Deacon. No hustle here as they'll just try and kill off time from this penalty. It's already down to 1:15. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Firth facing a double team in the corner. Now they collide in on the boards. Firth has lost the ball. And it's played quickly back to Doucette. Had Shanks up, but Shanks put the gloves up to say,
waves them off, yeah.
Cool it down. We got bigger boys coming here on the power play. Benesh is one of them.
Oh my.
No shot and a clean interception. On the run is Shane Francis. And he'll wait it out. Oh, thought he was going to, but a bouncer across. Too far for Skylar Thomas, which is spelled with a double K. President's Cup daily recap a few days ago had the explanation, which was basically, I think my parents wanted to be unique. And at one point, Skylar in that quote had said he Tried to look it up and can't find another. I mean, there's a lot of Skylar's SKY, but feels like he's the only one in Canada with a double K.
Yeah. Every time I look at it, I think there's a typo.
Pace, Benesh in the corner through hair wires. Benesh rolls up top and a sidearm shot down on Johnston. Jerry Stotts has gone to the bench and they can't get it there in time.
Ladner reacted very fast too. They knew they were taking a late shot. Somebody on the power play got to the bench quickly, so they made sure there wasn't a breakaway coming out of the box.
Skylar Thomas from behind the net will feed out to Ressa. Terrence turns and fires. May have caught Del Bianco leaning the wrong way, but he was down in the butterfly and it hit the pad. Irving with Francis on him. Takes a slash. Back here for Bromley. In the corner, Hairwires. Hairwires cuts the corner of the shot. Missed the top corner. And now back for Pace. Shot clock continues to tick down, under 10 now. Bromley, a low one in on Johnson, who covers up the 5-hole.
Hairwires beat his man Swamp cleanly there. Just shot wide. But beautiful one-on-one opportunity.
Von Harris has the ball. Fan club is in the chat making their presence known as he can't accept the return pass. Shot clock under 10, picked out of the crease, which is illegal here in this tournament. Under 8 to go here in the second period. I'll remind you, this is the first of 2 semifinals coming up here on this channel. Be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the action today or tomorrow. Bronze medal at 3. Gold medal game in the President's Cup, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, Eastern time. Feed there for Pace was behind him. And Brian Rice will come up the near boards. Note the time change as well, as our normal prime time start has been 8 o'clock through the tournament. From here on out, there'll be 7s for the second game of the day. Shane Francis.
It's a beautiful steal by Zach Haywires on that last play. Shot it wide. Hasn't found his range on his shots yet.
Skylar Thomas. Cross floor, Ressa Terrence. Ball down. Sam Firth is going to let go from long range.
Not what he wanted.
Right into the feet of Benesh. Pace coming off the bench. Excuse me, that's Caputo, who ends up through the legs of, being told, Trey Adams.
That could have been a high stick. Did you say Trey Adams isn't that now?
That's what the chat's trying to tell us, and I'm trying to see. I thought I saw 0-0 over on the bench. So
yeah, let me look at it.
Flip up top. Harris shoots over. Cleanly caught, and Ty Thompson's twister didn't get there, and then he gets tackled through the middle. Excuse me, that's Von Harris. I can see the number 2 now.
Yeah, I think
so
you're
Trey
right.
Adams.
I hope we have not missed that all game, have we?
I don't believe so. Chat saying that was changed after the 5th goal. Outside for Ressa Terrence. Thought Johnson was done well today. From the outside, here's Thompson chasing that to the corner. Magnan beats Mallory off the bench, and the Ladner defender has to slow up. Great thing about the YouTube chat, I mean,
yeah,
everybody follows along, and once you make a mistake, you know about it instantly. That's one that we would have missed, I'm sure. Pace, cross crease, Hairwires. Didn't get as much on it as he thought. Over the shoulder, oh boy. Ray with 2 defenders on him. A penalty's coming here to Hairwires. And now we'll really get to see.
Oh, yeah.
As the goaltender is making the long run. It is Trey Adams. Headed back to the bench with a lot of helmet taps. On to the crease, and in the crease was Snake Island. Josh Hewitt. Adams going back in as we get the slashing call.
Watch in front of that.
That's the Ray shot, and then right about here.
Yeah, on the shoulder. I don't know if they called the first one or the second. Second one was on the stick.
Second one's on the stick, yeah.
One. Second one you could have called it a hold. Trey Adams, 5'11", 195, from Akwesasne as well. Born in 92, so I think that makes him 31 years old. Although we promised to do no math today.
Thomas. Up top, Harris. He'll back off center. Back to Thomas. Shot shrugged away by Del Bianco. With under 5 to go here in the period, Harris will set up a power play again. Resiteritz and Harris. No shot. Looking high, and
oh boy, he changed that. He fooled Del Bianco, just couldn't put it in.
Top of the net was there. No shot from Firth. He'll go to the crease for Thomas. Resiteritz had snuck past everybody, and his shot did get through. Bouncer up here for Barker. We'll slow things down. Beers was trying to start that in transition. Shanks out there. Now Benesh coming to help out. Under a minute to go in the power play. Barker dances around the outside. Barker's shot hits off a stick, perhaps of Jerry Stotts, before landing in the corner at the end of the shot clock. 40 seconds left to go in the Ladner penalty. As Bryn Rice comes over the line. Resiteritz into the corner with Atwood. Harris continuing to work it around through Hall. Only one yet to touch it is Skylar Thomas, who goes back door and just didn't get the pass. Big hit in the corner. They've got Sam Clare near side. Help coming off the bench in Tyler Pace. Trailer back is Nathan Hanari. First time we're calling Hanari's name today, despite the fact that his tournament has been tremendous. Pace around the screen of Caputo. Penalty has expired. Benesh cuts in front. Caputo was there as well. Benesh tied up in the crease.
Oh my, Benesh was open, caught the pass, just tried to scoop it in that right corner, just missed.
Oakville Rock already in the house in the owner's suite. Watching this one, scouting. We know they'll play one of these teams tomorrow. Will it be at 3 or 7? Their game tonight against the Edmonton Miners, 7 o'clock Eastern.
And you're not getting ahead of yourself when you say they're playing one of these teams, because whether they win or lose tonight, both teams are playing tomorrow. Because we do have the bronze medal game as well as the gold medal game. So this is not the last game for either of these teams.
Yesterday was the end of the line for Tuscarora Tomahawks, Ganawaki Mohawks, and the Six Nations Rivermen.
But having said that, nobody out here wants to play in the bronze medal game.
No. Ray shoveled the shot, and the stick went further than the ball did, and then without it, he tangled up the offensive player. Under 2 to go. No timeouts in that first period, so full bag for both coaches. Resiteritz from the outside, halfway through the shot clock. He'll cut through underneath the screen. The shot bounces to the outside from Hewitt. Hall taken into the glass right near the boards. Hall still with it, and a big collision.
A couple of big collisions out there. The veteran Joe Hall is getting right into it.
Caputo to the outside Pace. Shanks got past his defender, and that was all the space he needed for that sidearm release. Hair wires to the crease for Shanks.
What an excellent pass by Hair Wires to Shanks. And you said it, that first play was a nice scoring opportunity that Shanks creates for himself through a crowd. Doesn't miss by much. Haywires reaches up, one-handed pass. How did that get through? On the money to Shanks.
This would be a decent look at this.
I'm telling you, that's I got to say that's a combination of skill and luck. And this replay there, you see Shanks' feet are nowhere in the crease. What a great pass from Haywires and good finish by Shanks. I believe that's his second goal of the game, along with a
Yes, it is
couple of assists.
3 points for number 3 as we're into the final minute. Face-off awarded here to Snake Island. Reminder that Jessica Ostrahan will have an interview coming up at the end of this period, so don't go anywhere once the horn sounds. Josh Hewitt sends it to the outside and then cuts back towards the crease. Mike Mallory with it to Hanari. Beers turned off towards the bench and ran over Luke Magnan. Both benches wanted a call on that.
Yeah, that was just two guys crisscrossing there. There was no malintent on that play.
Shanks slowing it down outside. Pace with the pick. Benesh can't get it back across. Pace did get it. Caputo sneaks it through the legs.
Now that's one Trey Adams has got to stop. 10.6 seconds to go. You watch Caputo is going to get down low. Shanks is trying to set something up. I think that was the play on the last goal. We're watching yes, this is the last goal. That's the goal by Shanks.
Yeah.
But this one, Caputo was on a bad angle. Didn't even reach around. He just tried to muscle it through, and he did.
Great finish there as face-off was won cleanly by Tyler Halls, who immediately called timeout. Sam Clare asking for clarification
I'd love to get that Caputo goal. I think we're going to get it here. Yeah, Caputo down low. Yeah, Adams just didn't close on that post. Because, no attempt even by Caputo to reach around the defenders right there. Let's see one more time. He just muscles it in from a bad angle.
Got 3 assists now for both Benesh and Tyler Pace. Shanks with a pair. Bromley with a pair. Alex Turner, James Ray, Phil Caputo. Makes it 7-6, the first lead for Ladner since it was 1-0.
We've seen Ladner's done a great job in this tournament. There's a number of games where things haven't necessarily been going their way, but they seem to respond. Even from the opening game, against the Miners, they were down by 2 or 3 in the third period, came back.
Rest of Terrence far side. Joe Hall went through his man up top, and no call there. Magnan was all over the standby official during that timeout and was actually told to get back to the bench because he thought there was a moving screen. Could have been one called here. But no goals, so no harm, with a 7-6 lead for the Ladner Pioneers after 2 periods.
And really 2 late, quick goals by Ladner to maybe ruin for Snake Island what had been a great period.
Jessica Ostrahan is joined on the bench of Ladner with one of their players, as they do have a 7-6 lead after 2 periods.
So speaking of grinding, talk to me a little bit about your goaltender, because he is really experiencing a lot of pressure and he's standing up in net for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's Del Bianco for you. He's one of the best in the world, and we have a great core defense right in front of him. They're working hard. They've gotten us through this whole tournament. We've been struggling a bit on offense, so everywhere we've gotten they're the backbone, so we need to pick it up on the offensive side.
What did you learn from yesterday's game against this team that you are using in this one?
They don't give up, so we got to give 110% for 60 minutes. If we take off one shift, they're going to make us pay. They're gritty and they work hard.
Well, you're clearly not taking a single shift off. 2-2 so far. What are your plans for the third?
Win.
Well, good luck with that. Thank you so much for taking the time, Austin. Good luck the rest of the way. That was Austin Shanks of the Ladner Pioneers. It is now 7-6 for the Ladner Pioneers heading into the third period. We'll be right back after this short break on JVI.
Guys are up. Cue.
Third period of this first semifinal between the Ladner Pioneers and Snake Island. It is the defending champs on top 7-6, although the shots favor the Muskies 29-26 through 2 periods and already underway. Claire spent a lot of time in the timeout prior to that end of period and then on his way to the locker room discussing the face-off.
Well, they're actually without Patrick Zabo, who's been their key face-off guy. Got hurt yesterday. Let's double check which goalies are in net. It looks like Trey Adams is back. Played 13 minutes in that second period.
Who do you think's in the other end?
I'll put money on that one.
Yeah.
Del Bianco, of course.
I'm not betting any more subs. That didn't work out well yesterday. Hair wires, Benesh feeding the cutter, and Bromley got held up a little bit. Oh, look out. Trey Adams.
Trey Adams, not a lot of playing time this year. A 2-0 record in the regular season. Didn't play any playoffs. Of course, Demude played all their playoff games. And up until yesterday, Demude played every minute of this tournament.
Well, someone was joking, the best job would be backup goaltender, but until it's not, I guess.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure when you're suddenly thrown in. But both Johnson and Adams have played well.
Sam Firth, a goal and an assist already in this game. Diving chance was stopped by Del Bianco. Pace to Shanks to the crease. Over the shoulder. Went wide there from Alex Turner, who also had a goal through 2 periods. 2 and 1 for Shanks. 2 for Bromley. 3 assists for Benesh. 1 for
I think I
Caputo.
got 4 assists for Benesh. I'll double check that.
Well, I've got 3 for Tyler Pace as well, and there's nothing on the online stat sheet. So,
yeah, you know what? There was a mistake on the stat sheet that I think they will correct. I actually sent a text because when I watched the replay, so we should get an assist go to Pace and another assist to Benesh. That last goal by Caputo, they had wrong.
Here is Caputo. From the outside, a big stutter step. Francis will stop him in his tracks. Luke Magnan wants transition. Will leave for Brian Rice now, who got knocked down on a screen, which is how the Muskies got the ball here. Skylar Thomas. Quiet in that second period after a strong first. Up for Rice. And he wants to shoot. Late reaction, it looked like, from Del Bianco, but the shoulder did get there.
And I like what Austin Shanks said in the interview to Jessica. He said, what did you learn from the game against these guys yesterday is there's no quit in their game.
They don't give up, yeah. Well, only 1 goal as of right now. That ball ends up in the Snake Island bench. Kawilade Mitchell was talking to somebody, and the ball kind of ended up right at his hand. He was trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
Here's Firth near side, bit of a hidden ball play.
Fooled me for a bit.
Firth has it for real now. Screen from Hall takes 2 defenders into the corner. And now Firth cutting through a second chance. Shot went over top of the net. Firth trying to deal with his man in the corner, and Joe Hall made things happen there on that offensive shift. Shanks has it. Francis all over that. You can hear him yelling from our position. Bromley for Shanks. Cuts to the net. And got stopped in his tracks.
Wood was all over Shanks' stick.
Resitaritz, corner. Resitaritz cuts back to the net and scores. Jake Carey's upset by this play, but it's just a good one from Resitaritz.
I got to watch this again. Their goals have either been, the quick east-west hard outside shot, or a guy just sneaking in, getting open for half a second and getting the pass. I mean, let's see. Resiteris makes the pass. Oh, no, I don't see anything wrong with this, at least from Resiteris' point of view. That's a traditional give and go. Just put it in the corner, go hard to the net, get it back.
From Vaughn Harris, who I've got for 5 points off these 7 goals. Ray and Benesh keeping it high. Ray takes the shot. And Adams covers up. Back to tied. 7-7 between Ladner and Snake Island. On the line, a trip to tomorrow night's final match. 1-game playoff for the President's Cup. Outside, Harris will leave here for Atwood. Low shot is enough to beat the clock. And the rebound drops right back down in the stick of Mike Mallory. Off the bench, Pace. Still with it. A lot of talking from, I believe that's Jerry Stotts down there, quarterback in the defense. Shot from Pace, late movement from Adams. And he'll use that big Woody again this time, but to scoop the ball back in the crease. Resiteris. Back to slow it down. We played almost 6 minutes of this third period. All knotted up at 7. Resiteris couldn't slow down Carey. Beers will take over. And Benesh is leading the charge out for the offense, but it'll be Shanks with the ball. Beers stays on. Out of the corner, looking past the entire way.
It worked once for Caputo. Not a great angle shot at all, but do you blame him when he put one in from that ankle earlier on?
Wonder if this is the last time we'll see those green gloves. Isn't Matt Beers on the move? He's going Vancouver, no?
Yep.
Along with half the league, signing with Kurt Molosky. Up top, Resiteris. Couple fakes from Hall before the bouncer got in on Del Bianco, and Joe Hall's hard after the ball again. No wonder the team doesn't give in. You see your veteran giving it 1,000,000% when he's out there every time. Here's Pace. Stotts will keep him away from the crease, but Pace turns back across, all the way across floor. Benesh is down low. Excuse me, that's Hairwires who turns and fires. And Adams down to make the save once again.
That was a nice save, almost a blind save. Hairwires shot that ball through a bunch of bodies. Not hard, but tough to make the save still.
Ron Harris to the trailer. Big high step. Firth headed to the net and taken down Jake Rice. Ball rolls its way harmlessly into Del Bianco. Barker, Shanks. Barker sets the screen. Shanks with the shot. And oh boy.
Similar to play to Shanks' first goal, just come down the side, squeezing it to the far side. And thought that one might roll in like Bromley's first goal did.
I think it was off the foot and he kicked it. Did it. Adams. Something was going on in the crease anyways to the oohs and ahs of the crowd. Resiteris across for Skylar Thomas. Only has 5 to shoot now. Resiteris. Atwood. And the save, Del Bianco. Here's another look from the top right.
Goes for that same corner. And I can't see the ball, but the reaction of Trey Adams, you know it was dangerously got behind him.
Shanks. Benesh. Shanks will wait and shoot. Jerry Stotts was in the crease, nearly interfered with Adams. Pulled out again in a crease violation, but Adams still made the save.
That's a tremendous save, but as you said, wouldn't have counted anyhow. Hairwires was able to walk right out.
Hall and Firth. Harris in the corner finds Resiteritz cutting through. Couldn't catch it one-handed. So when Barker was all over him. Matt Beers leading another 3-on-1. Beers to Benesh. Save from Adams.
Adams is right in his net, not stepping out at all, but still covers enough of it that he's making these saves.
Well, he's also right in his groove right now.
No, and not a huge guy, according to this. He's 195.
Mike Ballery on Skylar Thomas does not look fair, but that's the matchup anyways. Down in the corner, look at the ball moving here. Trying to get it back to Resiteritz, who was airborne. And Thomas after that loose ball, which will be dumped back deep in Ladner territory at the tail end of the shot clock.
A smart play by Thomas and Hewlett just to make sure not an easy pickup of that loose ball to go on transition. You got to do that before the buzzer goes or it's delay a game.
Pace to Benesh. Back across to Pace. Pace has Shanks, lets him go, takes the shot. And they've been running that all game. Speaking of running, here comes the transition of Snake Island. Back to the trailer. Shot didn't miss the top of the net by much for Tyler Halls.
Those shots that were all dropping in for Shanks early in the game are not now, but he's getting the opportunities.
And here he is again.
They're playing with fire. Snake Island is giving a lot of scoring opportunities.
Shanks passing back. There was no one home. Quickly the ball moves to Benesh. Low shot. Rebound is out of the crease. Up for grabs. And it's Snake Island getting their first, picking it up. But Caputo dropped on the crease. Jerry Stott saying it was a dive. But regardless, Ladner with a fresh 30. Shanks, no shot. Far side. Benesh trying to find Caputo, who dropped his man and then ran through the crease.
Yeah. Couldn't cleanly catch that pass, although he was open. Okay, still 9 minutes to go. But I dare say a tie doesn't end in a tie today.
No.
A little early for us to talk about the format of overtime.
Well, speaking of, Ty Thompson bringing it in for Snake Island. Out of the corner, Von Harris puts the brakes on, turns and shoots. That one staggered Bianco, who reached out to his left. Beers up to center. Now back for Pace. Tyler Pace. Benesh, long shot. Adams stands in. Hairwire's looking for the rebound. Benesh pulls it out. Benesh for Pace.
We've still only had one goal in this third period.
Benesh. Shanks cutting through is knocked down by Magnin, and he's going to lead the charge back the other way. Brian Rice waits it out. Here's Hall. One goal despite offensive pressure on both ends of the floor. This will be Atwood. Chris Atwood through Del Bianco and in.
That's a shot you don't often see get by Del Bianco. Atwood just takes an outside shot. Del Bianco's got plenty of time to set up. The ball's not moving east to west or anything. It's just Atwood slowly coming out of the corner. And it's just one that Del Bianco doesn't get.
4 points now for Resiteritz. Anyone that's watched, well, I guess a bunch of summer ball as well, but winter ball in Ontario has seen that move many times before from Chris Atwood. Here comes Thomas again. Cross crease and
important save by Del Bianco there.
Nathan Hanari. Been quiet in this game, although not the tournament. A lot of pointing from Josh Sanderson in that Snake Island bench. Pace. Rice gets picked out of his way. Trailer off the bench is Caputo. Way late, though. And a low shot. Looked like there was room in the 5-hole. The stick of Adams takes it away. Most recent goal scorer, Atwood.
Pace is yet to score a goal in this game.
Replay in your top right.
How many times have we seen him score from there? Usually he's going for the top corner.
It's back for Harris. Couldn't handle the pass, and the race is on. Getting there first, Sam Clare. Rolls back out, Henare. Now Mallory and through Shanks. Closing in on 6 minutes left to go. Shanks. Bouncing around, Pace trying to help out. Shane Francis goes with all of them right out in front. Big tie-up. James Ray ends up in the crease. Excuse me, that is Hairwires.
Hairwires has had all kinds of chances this game. Bullying his way in front of the net, not being able to finish yet.
And every time he's gone to the crease, he's paid for it. Big hit, and he's usually picking himself off the turf. Only one assist to show for his afternoon so far. Ty Thompson all tied up. This one's going to roll away.
Barker wisely just steps back and says, I'll let my offense go on. I'll let the 5 guys that score the goals go on and do what they do best. But you're feeling, pressure's ramping up. 5 minutes to go.
Yeah. Caputo, Benesh. From the corner to Pace.
Was that Pace?
The shovel backhand from the middle. Yes, it was.
Boy, did they need that. Had not scored a goal in this period. And Pace just parks himself in front. He's covered. And a hard backhand beats Adams. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's what Trey Adams had to look at. Back of 2 defenders, and all of a sudden the stick of Pace pops out the side, and the ball was in it and beyond him. 8-8 tie. Oh,
just
wow.
Seconds after we were saying Pace hasn't scored a goal, gets a big one.
And not that long after the Snake Island goal to go ahead. Bromley for Shanks.
I'm not sure who they announced that goal to, but it wasn't Pace, but that was Pace.
Oh, you got to credit that one correctly.
Yeah.
Benesh on the outside. Rolling back in. Down out of the corner. Hairwires spins back, scores, but in the crease.
Was Hairwires in the crease or someone else? I thought he was.
See if our replay crew can determine for us. Skylar Thomas. Back to Atwood. Marissa Terrace. Vaughn Harris. Back up top for Thomas. Firth sets the screen, goes to the net. And now Terrace has to chase the loose ball. 5 on the shot clock. Getting up for Vaughn Harris. Loose ball. Picked up.
We're going to see that replay of that last
Back the other way, Owen
opportunity
Barker.
by Hairwires.
Top right. Live play down in the corner. Shanks back for Pace. So fired off Adams. No, it is Hairwires.
Yeah, Hairwires.
Remember the cylinder rule here in CLA, not the NLL one where the foot can't touch down.
That's right. You can't just float over like you can in the NLL.
Yeah. Shanks back up top. Benesh. Shanks pops out, and that hit a stick. And Adams was down as it floated close to the net.
I'm now convinced that shoot that we keep hearing
is from the bench.
Yeah, either from the bench or from somebody on defense. But yeah, I think it's from the bench.
Oh, boy. Josh Hewitt faked the hidden ball play, and Hanari ran straight at him. Firth. 5 on the shot clock, gets chased into the corner. Firth now with a man on his back. Way up top. And Hewitt sent it over top of Del Bianco and everybody. Mallory and Benesh. And you're right, seems like every possession, as Pace puts it back up top for Hairwires, with the way these defenses are playing, you're not surprised when it's a save or
Yeah.
a shot clock violation, but the names on offense on either side, you expect a goal each time they go down 2. So your best against my best right now between these two teams as we get into money time. Terrence, Skylar Thomas was looking past the entire way, then decided to shoot.
That was a
Back
nice
foot
play by
touched the
Thomas.
crease.
That almost snuck in that top corner.
Carey with under 3 to go. Shanks. Screen. Shanks looking for Benesh up top. Briefly skipped away. Whack on Benesh. They're going to chase him outside the restraining line. Hairwires took care of the defender, who gets up and recovers for a back check on the stick. In on Adams, who was not going to move until he heard a whistle.
Yeah. Didn't want to see any balls rolling behind him.
No. Not at this point in the game. Josh Hewitt. And Firth playing catch up top. Hall working around the near corner along the left side. Here with Firth. Cross floor. I believe this is Harris, a swim move. No room to get to the crease, gets stuffed by a double team.
Yeah, that was a good double, good timing late in the shot clock. You could see some of the offense were getting off the floor. I believe that was Barker who read that play and did it well.
They don't have a confirmation yet, but they think it's a 2-minute break followed by a 10-minute
Minute and a half to go.
and a sudden death.
Caputo, hair wires. Caputo off the end glass, in and scores.
Well, Caputo got the last goal of the second period, and he's really hoping that this is the last goal of the third period. As the big high outside shot, I think that was hair wires, and Caputo just pounces on that rebound. It's always a tough play. You know, when a big rebound comes, players are taught, look for your man when that ball's on a rebound, and everybody turned except Caputo, who got that ball and put it in the net.
Snake Island, the only team to take a timeout so far. Josh Sanderson
And they're pulling
gives the call
Adams.
to Trey Adams.
You know, and this is where Del Bianco likes to shine. We'll see if he can do it
Yeah.
once again in his career.
Over the top, Terrence, no shot. Skylar Thomas with 5. Terrence lets one rip. Caught by Del Bianco. Still no goalie back in the net. And not going to get there as Jeff Cornwall scores.
Wow, he's not taking any from far out. He's getting as close to the crease as possible. But it starts with the big save by Del Bianco. And then, as he often does, he gets up quickly, looks for the best pass to make. Didn't make it directly to Cornwall. It looked pretty deliberate, pretty careful on that one.
I thought he was looking down floor at the empty net, did Del Bianco, but timeout called by Ladner as they controlled the face-off. They lead 10-8, and they'll talk it over with 44 seconds to go.
So not that it means anything right now, but for future reference, it is 2-minute break followed by 10-minute full period followed by sudden death.
So just when we were thinking we might be seeing overtime, big goal by Caputo, and then
Here's a replay of it.
what looks like it's probably going to be insurance goal is Jeff Cornwall in the empty net. Let's watch again. Caputo across. Who takes this shot? I think it's Harry Wires. And Caputo just pounces on the rebound, puts it in. You think he's excited?
I think they're all excited over on that bench.
Promo for the next game.
Reminder that the winner of this one goes to play for gold tomorrow at 7. Tonight at 7, Edmonton and Oakville. Those two teams also want to get there.
Obviously, they didn't put the goalie back in. They just want to double team the ball right away.
Pace has it. Skylar Thomas and Brian Rice. And
Ball's
Rice is
loose.
going to win it. And they're calling timeout.
Yeah.
It was Skylar Thomas that ran over. And Brian Rice goes down. He caught a stick in that exchange.
Executed as perfectly as you could by Snake Island, double teaming the ball. Pretty impressive too. Like Skylar Thomas, not a big guy, 5'7", being put on the floor in that situation. And no surprise that Brian Rice and Thomas just make sure that he's got nowhere to go, and they eventually force that ball loose. Rice picks it up, and obviously they're screaming at the ref. Timeout, timeout.
Stepped on by Pace, I think, as they were coming out.
Adams will not go back in the net. We won't see him go back in the net the rest of this game unless we get 2 quick goals by Snake Island. But Snake Island has to score, and they have to score quick. They're not going to take a lot of time to set this one up.
Well, and if they do score, the absence of Zabo becomes that much bigger. Normal face-off taker for Ladner. Here's Resiteritz. Resiteritz and Firth are high. There's the shot. Del Bianco with the catch. And again, looking at that empty net. This time he'll
they won't even run down and put it in
here
the
to
empty
Mike
net.
Mallory.
They'll just try to eat the clock.
Ladner Pioneers, the defending champions. Most of this roster is the same as it was last year. Believe they are headed back to the gold medal game tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Well, congrats to Ladner and congrats to Snake Island, who played a tremendous game again. Under difficult situation, losing their MVP star goaltender yesterday, Nick DeMood, but Kobe Johnson, Trey Adams both played well, but the whole team played well from start to finish. They conceded nothing.
And you would expect nothing less because that's basically the way they played throughout the tournament. Whether it's Oakville or Edmonton tomorrow, they got to be ready for that bronze medal game. Snake Island, remember what they had to deal with at the beginning of this tournament? Three games
in about 30 hours, yeah.
Even less than that. And then, the better part of a day and a half off as they came back at 8 o'clock. But this Ladner team, they've looked like the class of the field through much of this tournament.
I was talking to their management today, and basically what he said is, we've been here before. We know how to play in this tournament. And he was referring to sitting guys out different games, even though it's a little bit risky at times. But you can't go with your best lineup every single game and expect to be fresh in the gold medal game if you get there. And they are getting there.
Standing by for the bar down players of the game.
Oh, let me think about this.
Okay.
You know what? Before I take my pick, I just got to give some credit to Del Bianco. Did what he always did.
Yeah.
He let in a weak goal. I mean, there's no other way to candy coat it. That goal by Chris Atwood, that gave Snake Island an 8-7 lead. Not a good goal, but then he didn't let another goal in the rest of the way.
But it's a patented Chris Atwood goal would be my
yeah, that's true. I mean,
that.
Yeah.
As
I haven't
we've
time to think about this.
We've gone to red bucket hats here for the final day. They were orange, they were blue, now they're red and black. Vaughn Harris getting it for
2
Snake
goals,
Island.
3 assists, 5 points.
Is 2 goals enough for Caputo?
I don't know. Banesh had 4, at least 4. 4 assists, but that could be Caputo. I don't think. No, he won a few games ago, so he's not going to win it.
Okay.
Shanks won the other day. He's not going to win
usually how we end up picking is who's got it.
Oh,
2 goals is enough.
Wait a second, Mr. Caputo. You've got 2 hats now.
Yeah, but they're different colors. You got to collect the set.
It's the playoffs now, too. So
he's going to be looking. So he's got the red one and the blue one, I think. He's going to be looking for an orange to complete the set. What's he going to trade?
And, 2 goals in this game by Caputo, but both were key goals. One gave Ladner the lead late in the second period, and then, of course, the winning goal late in the third.
I believe Jessica Ostrahan is waiting to talk to him. Our bar down player of the game standing by with Jessica.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm here with Phil Caputo, our player of the game. Phil, your team is going back to the President's Cup final for the second year in a row. How do you feel?
Feels good. Just job's not done. One more to do.
It's certainly not. This is a little bit of a loaded question, but who do you want to play?
Doesn't matter who. We're just gonna watch the game tonight, see what's going on, and whoever we face, that's what we got to deal with.
Oh, I like that attitude. You had a fantastic game yourself, obviously, player of the game for you. You could cut the tension with a knife in here before you scored that go-ahead winner. What did that feel like?
Felt good, but there was still time left on the clock, and luckily our D stood on their heads. Delves made some big saves and got us out of there.
Yeah, let me talk to you a little about Del Bianco. I mean, obviously, one of the best lacrosse goalies on earth. What does he mean to you going into the finals?
He means everything. He's our backbone of our team. He's a gamer. He steps up when the time's right, and I expect him to have a big one tomorrow.
Thank you so much for your time. Good luck tomorrow, and enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Phil. That was Phil Caputo, our player of the game for the Ladner Pioneers, and now I will send it back up to the boys to wrap things up for us.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Thank you very much to Phil Caputo. Congratulations to the Ladner Pioneers. That game at 7 o'clock tomorrow, but we've got another one tonight, Edmonton and Oakville coming up following this one, Shanny.
Yes, it's going to be an exciting game. Don't get ahead of yourselves. The Oakville Rock has had a great tournament so far. A lot of work in front of them. We know with that Edmonton team got a couple of big guns. Mike Triolos leads the league in goal, or leads the tournament in goals, and Levi Adams a ton of points. So this should be really fun to watch tonight.
It should. It looks like Oakville peaking at the right time. Again, that game comes in just over 2 hours' time. Jake Elliott, Pat Gregoire will take you through that as we watch some of the highlights of this one here. Phil Caputo, that big one to ice it for the Ladner Pioneers and book their ticket back to the gold medal game coming your way tomorrow. But again, we're not done here on semifinal day. Oakville and Edmonton coming up in just over 2 hours' time. On behalf of Brian Shanahan, Jessica Osterhausen, the rest of our JVI Sports Network crew, I'm Matthew Carrick. Enjoy your dinner. We invite you back in 2 hours for semifinal number 2 from here at the 2023 President's Cup.